Hello everyone, very good morning. Please put in the chat if you can able to hear me properly. Good morning, good morning. Hello everyone. Yep. All right. Can you guys hear me? Everyone? Today we are going to see Hello Badri, Gunarathinam, Ram Krishna. Okay, perfect. Ram, perfect. All right. Guys, we know that we are going to see something great today for sure. There's no doubt in it. And we are going to see this in practical today. And whatever we have learned so far, we are going to see this in action today. And I'm going to show how we are going to deploy this into a Kubernetes cluster, how we are going to create a Kubernetes cluster, everything from scratch. All right. All right. So, guys, yeah, I can see a lot of people joining. Logesh, yep. Thank you, guys. If I miss your name, sorry about it. Please go ahead. Okay. All right. Let's get started. Guys, we have seen start from day one. We have seen like why we need to learn about Kubernetes and what exactly Kubernetes is for, and what are the features and how this Kubernetes has been architectured. Like what are the components involved inside this particular cluster, what is mean by master node, what is mean by worker node, why do we need that actually, right? That's how we have learned about all these components, API server, control manager, everything. And then yesterday we have learned about how we are going to start with something like a Java application where we want to deploy it into cluster. So first and foremost thing, before we deploy our application to cluster, we have to develop the application. So Kubernetes is nothing but an orchestration tool in which if you have multiple containers running in your typical project, let's say ecom, let's say walmart.com, flipkart.com, each business logic will have separate application running. One might be running in Node.js, one might be running in Java, Python, .NET, whatever it is. Everything is separately containerized. And in order to make these um, container applications to work, we can use Kubernetes as an orchestration tool to manage all this stuff, right? So, being said that, the developer has to develop this application using Java, .NET, or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, it has to be run inside cluster. That is what the last piece. So, for that, in order to create this situation or scenario on our local machine, um, I said we have an open source tool called Minikube. Okay, Minikube, and how to interact with the Minikube is using kubectl. And yesterday, what we did, we have learned about how to create our local environment setups and how to build a Java web application using pom.xml, Maven, and also we have defined our layers. And also we used Docker to containerize our application. So let me put this way. Today we are on day 4. It's very powerful program. Don't forget to remember all these concepts. If you have any question, just type in the chat. All right. So we are on day 4. All right. So on day 4, what we are actually trying to do here is the application, whatever we developed, the application, it's a Java Spring Boot web application, isn't it? This has been written in Java and using Docker, what we did, guys, we made our application into an image. This is nothing but image. How? Using build command. And after that, we are able to push this image. We are able to push this image to another platform. We pushed image from local laptop to remote. Which one? There is a repository we did right yesterday, guys. You remember? Docker Hub, isn't it? So now our code is here. Whatever the developer is written, this code is here. After the developer writes a code, whatever the code we are writing it, we are building this particular application and we are building this Docker commands using Docker build command. We are creating an image and this image is pushed into Docker Hub so that this can be deployed anywhere. So this image, we can able to push it to the Docker Hub and wherever you want. Let's say you want to have your application to be running in production environment. If you want to run this application to production environment, what you can do, you can pull it from here. You can pull the image wherever you want. All right. Let's say you want to deploy it in dev environment. Yes, again you have to pull it. You have to pull the image. All right. How to use push command, pull commands. If you guys see my Docker class, you'll get a better understanding. Right now, we are trying to use our local environment, which is nothing but my laptop. So how I can use my laptop to do this? So for my local setup, this is my local laptop. Okay. On my local laptop, first I need to install Docker. I need to install Docker. Without Docker, it won't work because you have to use Docker commands. All right. On top of it, you can install a software called Minikube. Minikube is nothing but an open source Kubernetes cluster which you can create inside your local laptop itself. It is single node server wherein master and worker nodes are all running on the same machine. Whenever you install Minikube, guys, it comes along with that. It comes with kubectl. You don't need to separately install kubectl. Whenever you guys install Minikube, if you see the logs, you will see Minikube is also installed. So basically, our local environment is ready. Our local environment is ready. Now our application is also ready. Our local environment is ready. What we need to do? Two things we need to do. Okay. Let's say we are pulling the image. Okay. We have to pull the image. Okay. So that we can able to deploy here. But before we deploy it, we need to define and configure the cluster, isn't it? We have to define and configure the cluster. So the first and foremost thing, what we need to do, guys, today, what we need to do, the first and foremost thing, we need to define and configure the Kubernetes cluster. Okay. Guys, you're all with me? Yes, all clear so far. Please put in the chat. If it is clear, means type clear in the chat, guys. Defining the Kubernetes cluster or resources. How? Guys, is it clear? Means please put in the chat, guys. Clear, clear, clear. Okay. Guys, everyone, please go ahead. Fast. I'm glad. Okay. Mato, CC. Mato, please put your name, full name, please. Okay. The next comment, you can put your whole name, first name, last name. All right. Thank you. Lokeshwaran. Perfect. Badri clear. Everyone, right? Perfect, guys. Now, what we are planning to do here is we are going to define our Kubernetes resources. How? Karthik, after we install the Kubernetes on our local machine, which is nothing but Minikube, how to define all these things? I should know how to do it, isn't it? That is where we should know how to or why and how to create the Kubernetes resources with the help of YAML file. You guys remember I was telling about YAML file? So now let's define how Kubernetes should deploy and manage our application using these YAML files. Okay, guys, if you see my screen, you might be seeing my workspace in which there is something called Kubernetes. I have already created this working structure and everything is ready. But what we're going to do here is I'm going to have one more window in which I'm going to have Kubernetes underscore live. In this live, this is the folder we're going to use it. And if you guys notice here, this one is already working model. Okay, we have the source code there, but I want to show it from here. Okay, So if you guys see here, this is nothing but whatever the Java application yesterday we created. You remember? Web app, inside this we have pom.xml file, Docker file, everything, isn't it? So this is nothing but we are Java application, which we are not going to touch it. Parallelly, the same place, what I'm trying to do here is, I want to define all our YAML files. In order to create YAML files, I'm going to create a folder just to store all our assets. You can have any name, whatever you want. You can say Kubernetes assets or manifest, whatever. Okay. Here, what and all we are going to do? What and all we are going to do is we know that we use MongoDB to store the names and internal host names, whatever, and keeping it separate from our application code. Okay. First and foremost thing is we need to create something called mongo-config.yaml. This is for what? To create the configuration for MongoDB. Okay. What exactly is a config map? Config map is what for what? Config map. Config map is a Kubernetes object or a component to store non-sensitive configuration data as a key value pair. Guys, clear? I hope you guys are all clear. Okay. Next, what I should create? Let us create mongo-secret.yaml. What is this one? Why do we need it? In order to keep all our sensitive information securely, we need to create under secret. So I would say secret is also a Kubernetes object to store sensitive information. Okay, like passwords, sensitive configuration data, or sensitive information like passwords, API keys, etc. etc. All right. Let's try to understand why we are creating it. Then we will go how this YAML file looks like. Guys, we know that database we need to store it in a persistence volume, right? So for that we can say MongoDB -pvc.yaml. So database like MongoDB or any kind of database, if you try to create for your application, we need to store the data persistently. The reason is if a pod gets restart or moving your pod to another node, we don't want to lose our data. So for that, we need to have some piece of storage that Kubernetes will provide. There's nothing but PVC. PVC means persistent volume claim. Guys, it is a request for storage by an user or an application. Anything it can be. All right. We are going to see how this YAML file looks like, all these things. Okay. And then end of the day, we have to define our MongoDB, isn't it? We have to define our MongoDB. So for defining our MongoDB as a deployment and service, we have to call something called mongo.yaml. Why it's important? It is our backend database to life for Kubernetes, right? It's a backend DB to work inside the Kubernetes cluster. It is just nothing but it is a MongoDB database deployment, guys. How it should run and what is service name, how to connect all those things. All right. And then finally, we have one more hero, which is nothing but web-app.yaml. This is another deployment and service for web application, which is nothing but our Java application. Guys, this is also basically it is a front end to work inside the Kubernetes cluster. This is the file which defines our Java web application. Whatever we created here, right? The image we're going to put inside our Kubernetes cluster, right? So for that we need another YAML file called this one. and I'm going to add one more YAML file, which is in order to have let's see here. If I okay here, right, I have one JS file, JavaScript file. Don't worry about this one. It is just for initializing our UCD password, initial UCD password. Let me explain that. Don't worry about it. Okay, these are the files we need. Guys, is it clear? Is it clear, everyone? Why we are creating all these YAML files? If your guys are clear, please type CC in the chat. Very, very, very important. These things we need to understand. That's all about Kubernetes, guys. If you guys understand all these things, that's all we need. If you don't understand any of this, definitely you won't have a better idea about how these things inside works. Super clear. Badri, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Very nice. How about other guys? Please have your hands on deck. Lukman Akram, could I find last 3 days files or videos? Yes, absolutely. Could you please put your email ID or your mobile number in the chat? Akram, Naraj, CC, KL CC. We will share all the soft materials, this material, and Kubernetes code, Java code, everything. But I need to reach out to you guys. So please share your some of the other way. Better, I think you can provide your WhatsApp number. Ram CC, Mato CC, Logesh, Aruna, perfect. Gunaratnam CC, perfect, guys. So these are the things we are going to create because developer develops the code, developer is pushing the image to Docker Hub, and again, as a developer, you are actually pulling this code, pulling the image, and you have to set up this Kubernetes, and you have to make this application to work inside this Kubernetes cluster. So in order to create your local setup, you need Minikube and Docker. After you create the softwares, install the softwares, you need to define this configuration. Perfect. I'm glad that you guys liked it. Perfect. Very nice. Now let's go deeper into one by one. Okay, what is this file is all about? So what I'm going to do here is, let me open up this folder. I will open one by one, and also I'm going to share these steps. It is also having the same code and all here. Okay, so nothing to worry about taking notes of all the code. Don't memorize anything. Let me explain one by one so that we will understand better. All right, guys. Now let's talk about something. First one is config.yaml file. Config.yaml. What is this config.yaml file? If you guys see here, this is the code we need to write. Okay, this is a YAML. YAML is indentation based, which means like you have to have a proper indentation. Okay, so first one, in the kind, we are going to tell what type of file it is. Yes, I am going to configure the database things, right, for MongoDB. So that is why I'm going to say it is a config map. So what about secret? If you open this secret file, if you guys see here, kind is secret, which means whenever I want to create a secret file, I have to mention what type of file it is. It's a kind, something but a type, the secret file or configuration map. Okay. In the metadata, I told you, right, day before yesterday, in the YAML file, we're going to give three things. One is metadata, and then specification, and then state. Okay. Metadata, yes, I'm going to name this file as mongo-config. What is this configuration? I am going to tell the database is my database, host name, some service name, port number, default port number of MongoDB is 27017. Alright, here is the important thing, guys. Here I am just calling the JavaScript. Why I am calling the JavaScript file? Here I am going to create a new user called app user app password, so that whenever I am trying to connect, whenever my front end application is trying to connect to the backend MongoDB, it is going to use this username and password. Alright, perfect. This is initial entry point. Alright. Second thing, secret file. Secret file, as we said, we are going to store all our user ID passwords. Anything secret, confidential data, we are going to store it here. How we are going to store it here? We are going to make it base64 encoded. Let's say my username is admin and password is a password. Okay. This is my actual text USD password. In order to make it to base64, guys, in your command window, open your command window, put echo -n, whatever the name, whatever you want to provide, admin, then base64. For this one, you need to install some base64 utility. I think that is also free in online, which you can simply install it. Not really, Badri, not required. Hmm? Okay. Okay. Echo -n admin, echo -n password, which means the output will be like this, which is nothing but you are going to give encoded password here. Username is equal to this one, password equal to this one. So in the real time, you don't use like this. Okay, I'm just put here for you guys to understand. I create some command lines. Okay, to get better understanding about what is this user ID, what is this password. All right. Basically, when someone looks into this file without this green color one, if they look into this username, they look into the password, they don't know what exactly it is. That is why we are keeping all the confidential data inside our secret, Mongo secret. Now, let me open up PVC file. Guys, as I said, PVC is nothing but persistent volume claim. This is another file. We have to tell, hey Kubernetes, I want to use storage, which I want to mount it so that I can use it for read and write. All right. This is what I'm going to tell. It's just a name of the file, name of the um, what name I'm going to provide it, and what is specification. In the specification, I'm going to say whether I'm going to read or write, whatever I'm going to say here. Resource nothing but I want a storage, which is nothing but 1 GB I'm going to allocate for this particular MongoDB. All right. These are the YAML files. Now let's look into the actual Mongo file YAML file. Okay. So what is this actual file? It is a deployment file. Guys, what is deployment? Can someone put in the chat? What is deployment? What is deployment? Can someone type in the chat? Oh, opaque is nothing but a generic secret type, Ram. Secret type. Hmm? Okay. Can someone say what is the kind of deployment means? We have seen this actually. Guys, people on the YouTube also, you guys can put in the chat. What is stateful set? Okay. Guys, you guys remember, whenever I am going to tell Kubernetes as an architect or as a Kubernetes administrator, I have to tell Kubernetes what is the deployment strategy, how many nodes I want, how many replicas I want, how many parts I want, isn't it? Which I'm not going to tell as such, isn't it? So I have to define everything inside the file type deployment. Okay, guys, deployment. The kind is deployment. Okay, Badri. Guys, everyone is clear? Everyone, please put in the chat. Very important to understand first of all the concept, and then before I execute it. Execution is just 5 minutes. Execution is just 5 minutes, guys. But understanding this is very important, like left and right. All right. Okay. Thank you, guys. So in the metadata, I'm going to say what is this name of this deployment file, and then I'm going to say application is nothing but MongoDB. And if you guys see here replicas, I want only one replica. Okay. And what is application name? MongoDB. Okay. And what is the container name? MongoDB. This and all you can give however you want. I'm just following the same best practice strategies here. Guys, the question here is, Karthik, we have written the code for Java, but did we install MongoDB on my local machine? No. Then how it works? So I didn't install MongoDB on my local machine. Okay. That is where the MongoDB, the Mongo YAML file, I'm going to tell, hey Kubernetes, Docker, take this Mongo colon latest, which is nothing but Mongo colon latest, nothing but the version tag. Okay, let's say 7.0 if this is the latest. Okay, which means I am going to tell the containers, I'm going to tell take a Mongo as the image name from the repository, from the general repository on latest version, and then use that image to run as a container under this port number 27017. Guys, please honestly tell me, is it clear for now? This is clear or not? That's fine. If you're not clear, I can explain again. No problem at all. Akram, please share your details. Okay, I will share our official WhatsApp number. Please share your WhatsApp number. Guys, is it clear? This one? This is the piece very, very important. What is the container I'm going to define? I am going to tell I want to take an image of Mongo latest version and make it running under container under this port number this one, and I want to name that container as MongoDB. Is it clear, guys? Please put in the chat. See. Fast. Okay. Okay, guys. Very nice. Very nice. Perfect. Now, here in the environment, I'm going to say what is the Mongo secret, isn't it? Because this is where I'm going to take the data. The secrets are stored into Mongo secret. So this YAML file, if you guys see here, this is the name I have given. This name I have to match it here so that it is going to refer it. Secret key reference is where the secret key reference is inside this file, which is nothing but Mongo secret. Okay, it is going to take it from there. Username, password, everything it is going to refer from there. If you guys see here, initialization root, username, password, it is going to take it from there. All right, database name, everything. Okay, now Mongo volume. Volume is nothing but what is the Mongo volume, guys? The PVC. This is the volume which we are going to use it. So if you guys see here, this is the mount point which I am going to define. Inside our Docker, we have a mount path. It is a default path which I am going to define it. And what is the volumes I am going to call it as? Mongo volume. Where is the claim? Claim is nothing but MongoDB-PVC. There is nothing but I am going to claim it from this one. MongoDB-PVC. Whatever the name you are giving here, this name should match here, the claim name. Everyone is clear, guys? Yes or no? Please put in the chat. Okay, clear. Okay, very nice. Perfect. Okay. And also I'm going to say that this initialization script I need to call it. Okay. This is the first one. This is the first one. First set I am defining. That is for deployment. Next thing I am going to say it as a service, because in this YAML file I am going to define both deployment and service. We know that why we need service. We don't want to go with IP address. Isn't it, guys? Yesterday we have seen. You guys remember? Not yesterday, I think day yesterday. We don't want to go with IP address. Isn't it? That will kill our life, because IP address, if the pod get restarted, it will get new IP address. Then other application doesn't know what is new IP address, right? That is where we need service. But we have to define the service and deployment, isn't it? That is what this YAML file is. Okay, here we are defining this YAML file. Now, related to Mongo, we have defined the config map, we have defined the secret, we have defined the persistence, and we have defined the YAML file, and also we have seen the just a JavaScript file. Okay. Now, regarding your application, again, for Java application also we have to define our deployment. How many replicas I need? What is the name of my deployment? How many replicas I want? What is the application name I want? What are the container name I want? Container name is web hyphen app. That's okay. But from where it has to take the image? Guys, you remember the application whatever we wrote yesterday in Java, that application we pushed into Docker Hub. This Docker Hub I have user account. In this Karthik Docker 0909, from there is an image called Kubernetes-Java-Web-App, and you remember I put a tag as 1.0. Okay, you guys has to replace with your Docker Hub name, username, not mine. Okay, whenever you guys execute on your local machine, you have to replace this one with your Docker Hub user ID password, whatever username. Okay, then I'm going to tell my Java application is going to run under 8080. This is the command I have to use, java-jar my jar file. Okay, this is typically how to execute our Java application jar file. This is the command java-jar my jar file. I put sleep 60 seconds. Why? Because whenever I'm going to bring up both MongoDB and Java application, if the user account doesn't created in this Mongo YAML files, using Mongo YAML files, my application is going to throw error. That is why I'm keeping here one sleep 60 seconds. Then I'm going to execute the remaining Mongo host and everything. Okay, here the environment I'm going to Mongo host, Mongo port, MongoDB name. Can you guys remember where I'm referring these ones? You guys remember? You guys remember? There is something called as in the application, web application, SRC, main, resources, we have application.properties. That is where we have given all this hot dynamic we have to inject. Only the database name is admin, but remaining things I have put everything from here, right? These values are injected. These values are injected from here to Spring Boot application using dependency injection, guys. If you want to understand Spring Boot, dependency injection is very, very, very important. So these values are getting injected from there to here. That is why this Mongo underscore host means you have to define here also Mongo underscore host. Mongo underscore port means Mongo underscore port. Guys, clear? Mongo username you are getting from the secret. Database name, config, everything we are using as it is from all our configurations. Next, one deployment is done. I have to expose this as a service. So I'm going to call it as a web-app-service. And this application service I'm going to run under 80 and target port is 8080 because my container is running under 8080. Is it clear, guys? Is everyone is clear? My application is going to run under 80, but my inside this container is going to run under 8080. All right. These are the files which we need to understand, guys. These are the files which we need to understand. Whatever we see here today, these files we need to understand very, very clear. Guys, anyone have any questions regarding these files? Please put in the chat which file you don't understand, or if you all understand, type AU, all understand. Quick, quick, quick. Thank you, thank you, thank you. AU means all understand. I can able to understand everything, whatever I have discussed so far. Yep, yep, yep. AU, AU. How about others? Lokesh, Ram, Aruna, Badri. Please put it in the chat. AU. AU means all understandable. All understand. KL only. Okay, cool. AU, Aruna, location. Perfect, perfect. Guys, this is very, very important concept. Now what we are going to do, okay, I have defined this one, but I should know how to create it. Using just YAML file, it's not going to work, isn't it, guys? We should know how to apply all these YAML files. We should know how to apply all these YAML files. So, as I told you guys, first and foremost thing, we should have Docker installed. Okay, we should have Docker installed. Now is the deployment. Whatever we did here is configuration piece. Now comes for deployment. Deployment. Very, very, very crucial, please. Okay. All of us knows, okay, we have a Java application, we have image for MongoDB, and we are going to make it work. But we have to deploy our application to Minikube. This application has to go to Minikube, isn't it? So further, we need to install Minikube and kubectl, as I told you guys, right? So if you want to know whether Minikube is installed or not, you can simply go to command window and then you can put Minikube space version. Yeah, here you go. I have installed Minikube already. It's just straightforward. You go to Google and then Minikube free download install. Based on your laptop, you can able to install Windows or MacBook or whatever. And then Now I want to know whether kubectl is installed or not. As I told you, you don't need to install separately. Whenever you install Minikube, kubectl also will be default. It will be embedded. I want to confirm this. Kubectl version hyphen hyphen client. Perfect. That is also installed. Now my thing is we need to go and start our Kubernetes first, guys. Okay, we need to go and start our Kubernetes. How to do this? Let's say I'm going to command window, making sure that you guys installed Java, you develop the application code, everything ready. Docker is installed, you build an image, you push the image to Docker Hub, and you know how to define all our YAML files. Okay, all are ready. Now we are going to deploy it. How? First and foremost thing, we installed Minikube also on our local machine. I need to start the Minikube. Minikube start. How to verify this, guys? Okay, let's go to Docker desktop. I will show you this. It's taking time. Yeah, it's loading. Meanwhile, I'm going to check all the chats. AU, all understand. Okay, okay. Gunarathinam, Badri, Lokesh, Aruna, Ram. Perfect, guys. Perfectly fine. Okay. If you guys see here in the build, the web app is our build, isn't it? Yesterday we built this. Now what we should do? We have to check whether our image is there in our container or not, right? Docker Hub repository. If you guys see here, this is my Karthik Docker 009 Kubernetes Java web app. It is also there. Okay, which means our application is there, and also my whatever the code I want, everything is built and it is all already there. Before you start the Minikube, you have to make sure you create you turn on Docker desktop, because Minikube itself Minikube itself is a container application. Minikube, whatever you download, itself a container application, which means it's a Docker image. Minikube has to run under one Docker container. That's nothing but Docker desktop. That is why before you click on Minikube start, you should have Docker ready. Docker desktop up and running. Container has to ready. Okay. Now let me go to the containers. Right now I don't have any containers, guys, on my local machine. I'm going to start. Let's see this practical. Crystal clear proof. If you guys see here, Minikube is actually going to start on my local machine as a container, and it is also pulling the image. Okay, because as I told you, Minikube is nothing but a container which has to run on our local machine in order to have your Kubernetes cluster setup. Let's wait for 30 seconds, I believe. It will come. Yep. You guys see here. Perfect. Yeah. Proof. You guys see here it is installing. It is actually creating the Docker container with CPU 2, memory 2 GB. Isn't it? What is this? This is the Kubernetes Minikube. Yes, it is going to come back. Yep. Minikube. 2 seconds. Yep. So first and foremost thing is we have to have our Minikube installed and it has to up and running. CPU utilization, whatever it is, right? Perfect. It is preparing this Kubernetes on the Docker. Kubernetes on the Docker. Which Docker? The Docker which I installed on my local machine, guys. Okay. Let's get complete. We are actually starting. And if you guys see here, whatever we know, control pan, right? It is booting up everything it is doing. Okay, all the components it's verifying, everything is ready. Done. kubectl is also now configured to use Minikube, which means kubectl is also ready to use. Okay. Now what we need to do? We have to talk to the API server, which is inside our Kubernetes cluster, which is nothing but Minikube. We know that, right, guys? Our gate pass, the entry point is nothing but API server. How to talk to API server? Using kubectl. Kubectl is a client like a browser which you can use to talk to Kubernetes API server. Okay, guys. Now this is ready. My build is ready and my image is also ready, which is inside my Docker Hub repository. Container nothing but Minikube is also ready. Alright, let me not closing it, I just minimize it. Now what we should do here is we have to use kubectl. We have to use kubectl command to deploy these files. Deploy these files. How to deploy this? There are some commands, very simple commands. Kubectl. I have to apply forcefully. Let's say mongo hyphen secret dot yaml, because whatever the files I created, one by one I'm going to apply it. You guys see here, secret of the name mongo hyphen secret got created. Let me take a pause here. Guys, are you able to follow up with me? If you are able to follow up with me, type F. F is for follow up. Difference between container and image. Container is the runtime environment. Image is nothing but a template, Badri. Please watch my Docker class. In the same course, wherever you just logged in, if you go below, you will be seeing the Docker class for 3 days, left and right. I have taken. That will give more deeper understanding. Okay, Badri. Guys, everyone, if you're able to follow up with me so far, type F in the chat. Easy to understand, easy to follow, right? F, F, F. I want to take a pass because very important to make sure like you guys understanding. If you are not understanding, that is not my success. All right, perfect. Uh, yes, there is a dependency that you have to apply in the flow, because you are going to create apply this YAML file, meaning like you are going to have this values persist before that. Okay, all right. Now what we did, we applied secret. Similarly, I want to apply config. Okay, you guys see here, config map under the name mongo-config also got created. What is the next thing I need to do? I need to do pvc, which is nothing but mongodb pvc dot yaml file. Perfect. Persistent volume claim called as mongodb pvc is also created. Finally, I need to create mongo.yaml. Guys, you guys see here, two things got created. One is deployment, another one is service. Deployment is nothing but MongoDB deployment got created. Service nothing but MongoDB service got created. Why two? If you guys go to mongo.yaml, you have first thing, second thing is service called as MongoDB service. First one is deployment called MongoDB deployment. That is why it created two specifications. All right. Last thing, I need to apply web-app.yaml file. Again, in the web app YAML file also we have two things. One is deployment, another is service. Guys, it all applied by using kubectl commands. When I apply this YAML file, based on the configuration what we have given in the YAML file, it started creating the pods. How to know whether pod got created or not? So, as I told you guys, you remember, first one is application. On top of it, your application is actually running under on container. On top of it, there is something called level of abstraction, nothing but pod. Pod. Now, ideally, the pod has been created. How to get that to know? Let's have a command. kubectl get pods. You guys see here? Get pods plural, which means I'm going to get list of all the pods. MongoDB deployment, web app deployment. This is the unique name for it. Ready one by one. Running. What is the age? 109 seconds, 73 seconds. Again, if you run the same command, still running. 2 minutes 9 seconds. Isn't it? Guys, this is how you can get to know how many pods got created, because pods get created based on the deployment, whatever you have given, isn't it? Guys, remember, every application is going to run under one pod. That is a strategy that we are following. Okay, so if I want to know how many pods got created so far, I can say kubectl get pods. Okay, what is the status of the service? Okay, pod is running. Every pod, you guys remember, every pod is having one component called as service based on what we have defined. Service nothing but, instead of hard coding our IP address, we are going to have service. How to know whether service is up and running or not? Again, kubectl get services plural. Perfect. If you guys see here, MongoDB service, web app service, there's nothing but based on what is the name you have given. The deployment you have given this name. That is why this name is coming. MongoDB-deployment. In the service, you have given MongoDB-service. That is why MongoDB-service. Web app service similarly. And Kubernetes itself is another service. Okay, guys. You guys see here 6 minutes 59 seconds. Nothing but Kubernetes, nothing but Minikube. Because Minikube itself is a service container application which is running inside my Docker. Okay. Now we are seeing three things. Now, whenever you see 1/1, which means container is ready. Okay. And because like MongoDB service doesn't have any cluster IP address because it is a headless service, meaning only for internal communication. You guys remember, MongoDB doesn't have a cluster IP address. Only web app service has it. Okay, and Kubernetes. All right. Now, how to access this application, guys? Karthik, you are saying that this image has been pulled and this image has been pushed there, and we are able to uh, set up this Kubernetes on the local machine. And when I say web app hyphen YAML, in this YAML file only we have defined. You guys remember? In this YAML file only we have defined. From here, this image, take this application and start installing. Everything is done very fast, isn't it? Very fast. Now all running. But how to verify this? We should know the IP address. How to verify this, or URL, isn't it? Guys, Minikube service. What is service name? Web hyphen app hyphen service. I want to get the URL. What is the URL I need to use to access our service? Let me wait. Perfect. You guys see here, because you're using a Docker driver on Windows, the terminal needs to be open to run it. You don't close this one. Just copy this one. Copy this one. And then go to our browser. Type this. Okay. White label error page. What does this mean, guys? Is it possible? Am I able to connect to the Kubernetes application or not? First tell me whether my application is running or not inside my Kubernetes. Guys, just a guess. Don't worry about this error message. Try to tell. Just guess it. Is our application is running inside our Kubernetes or not? See, content is running. Service also all good. And whenever I am getting the URL, service URL to access my application, kubectl is giving the URL for this. So using this URL, if I try to access, it says giving some white label error page. Okay, Ram is saying running, Logesh saying running, others. People on the YouTube. Guys, Kayaloni, Akram, Natraj. What about you guys? Yes, yes, yes. It's running. Perfect. Okay, guys. Yes, it is running. On this IP address, on this port number, our application is running. But why I'm getting this white label error? Because I'm directly hitting the IP address and the port number, but in our application, main Java com example Kubernetes web application controller. Right, guys? You remember yesterday I was telling REST controller is what? The entry point. If you guys see here, all the request mapping is nothing but slash employees, which means I have to call after this IP address colon port number slash employees. Perfect. You guys see here, I'm getting the output, which means this JSON is nothing but whatever the dummy data I hardcode here, I'm getting it. Yes. Guys, are you clear? Whatever the dummy data I'm setting up here, right? All the data, I'm able to get it here in the output. Yes or no? All right. Yes or no, guys? Please type in the chat. Yes, yes, yes. Lokesh Ram. Are you guys able to understand? Badri, everyone. Aruna. Okay. Okay. What is this URL, Karthik? What is this one? Slash hello. What is this slash hello? Guys, always remember this is a class in Java. You know, right? This is a class in Java. So to get my request to come to this controller, I have to annotate this with @ REST controller. First thing. Next, within this REST controller, I'm going to tell request mapping slash employee with nothing but get request. Okay, so slash employee is fine. That is something like whatever it is going to give it. Okay. Next thing, inside that one, I have something called slash hello on this name. If I use this slash hello again on next level, next context root, you guys see here, hello from our Kubernetes web app. From where it is coming? From here. Guys, very clear. The Java application we started creating from the scratch yesterday using Spring Boot framework. We are able to create our application. We are able to configure the Kubernetes clusters. We are able to apply and we are able to see the output. Yes, that's all, guys. This is the beauty of Kubernetes. Kubernetes people say it's very tough. It's tough to manage. Of course, it's like a typical application. It has more number of containers. Very difficult to manage it. That is why we need some orchestration tool like Kubernetes. And moreover, nowadays everything is in cloud. We are using AWS means EKS, Elastic Kubernetes Service. But end of the day, we should understand the architecture. Okay, in EKS you don't understand crystal clear about Kubernetes, but standalone Kubernetes, which is developed by Google developers, we need to understand how this all works. Guys, I would request one thing right now. If you guys are happy with this 4 days class, I am not yet complete. I have to do one more cleanup. Before that, I would like to ask one thing. If you guys are able or really honestly happy and helpful for the last 4 days, type HH in the chat. Let me see how many people are really enjoyed and it was really helpful for them or not. Come on, guys. Just a honest feedback in the chat. I will give you this one, this URL. Guys, I will give you this URL. Do one thing, please. Go to this. Go to this particular channel. Particular video. Guys, people joining from the course. I gave one YouTube video URL. Go there and then put the comments. How it is today. not in the chat, in the comments. Okay. All right, guys. After we complete our class, yes. After we complete, after the class get over today, please copy this URL right now and store it somewhere. After the class is completed, you guys go and put your comments in the video comment. I will go and see how many people are really got benefited. I can see Swati, Ram, Haruna, Gunaratnam, Ramakrishna, Gunaratnam could not copy. Oh, really? Unable to copy this? Um, oh, okay. Guys, go to Red9SysTech and if you go and check live classes, you can see that today's date. There are four videos are like live classes. You guys can go and see that. Okay. All right. What is the next step? The final thing is very important, guys. Very important. Lot of people forget to do this, guys. Anytime I would say best practice we need to follow. Whenever you try to learn something, after you learn, after you are really happy by seeing the output, the best thing what you have to do here is you have to go and delete the resources which are not required at all. Yes, because I created this Kubernetes cluster on my local and I deployed all my configurations based on my YAML file and I deployed my application. But right now I'm fine. I'm good. Now I need to know how to come out of this. Control C. Now kubectl delete forcefully web-app.yaml. You guys see here deployment and service got deleted. Similarly, mongo.yaml, mongo deletion. Perfect. This also got deleted. Again, mongodb-pvc.yaml. I'm going to delete the persistence volume. Perfect. Got deleted. Next, I want to delete secret also. mongo-secret.yaml. Perfect. Secret also got deleted. Only one more last guy. Who is that? mongo-config.yaml. Perfect. Now everything got deleted. How do you know whether all got deleted properly or not? Why can't we run this command get services? You guys see here MongoDB-service is not coming. Web-app-service is not coming. Only Kubernetes is coming. This guy is nothing but 18 minutes age. This guy is nothing but Minikube. Guys, he is nothing but Minikube. Okay, Minikube is nothing but another service, container service which is running on our local machine. All right, now this is clear. Can I check any pod is there or not? Okay, no resource found in the default namespace, which means no pods are running. Which means service got deleted, pod got deleted, no containers, no application. Perfectly fine. We have cleaned up perfectly fine. But we still have Minikube. Minikube is still running. How to check? If you guys see here, Minikube is running, right? Now I need to stop this. Either you can use here to stop or delete, or using kubectl, you can also use here. You can use commands also. How to do it? Minikube stop. If you do here, same like here, you will see here the changes. Let's wait. Okay, if you guys see here, one node got stopped. If you guys see here, it was earlier it was green color. Now it got stopped. And again, as I said, if I don't want to have it on my local machine also. Minikube delete. I'm going to delete this guys if I don't want it. You guys see here, the Kubernetes container, cluster container, which I created here, that also got deleted, which means I don't want that. This is the perfect way of learning any technology from the scratch, learning why, then what, then how, and then getting into core to do hands-on by having a Java application or any kind of application you want based on your flavor of interest, and you can able to install prerequisites, develop an application, configure the Kubernetes cluster, deploy the Kubernetes cluster, and see the output, right? I can see a lot of people are saying HH in the chat, both in YouTube as well as in our course. I am really happy about it, guys. Um, really appreciate all your time. And for now, we are completing all our 4 days program. Let me quickly share what we have discussed so far. First and foremost thing we have learned about, if anyone missed any of the previous class, please watch those 3 days class, whatever the class you missed. And we started from why Kubernetes, from monolithic to multi microservice architecture. The trending is fast, and then we need some orchestration tool. For that, we need Kubernetes, and we have learned from scratch about the architecture, right? For each layer, what, why, how we are going to interact, and API server, control manager, scheduler, all these things we have learned, and we know why we need service instead of IP address. And after that, we have to expose the services and how to create config map secret, why we need, on what basis we need. Everything we have learned from the scratch, and also volume. Of course, we need volume, and we have to define how many parts I want, what and all I need in the terms of deployment. That is what it is all about. And then we have learned about how to create pod, right, with the help of deployment. And after that, guys, we learn about how to create YAML file or JSON file to configure this, and what is the YAML file contains. And today we have learned from the scratch about YAML file, what under it is having. And as I said yesterday, in order to create and replicate on our local machine, we need something called Minikube, which is open source single node Kubernetes cluster. As a container service, I can able to run that particular Minikube inside a Docker container. For that, I need to install Docker on my local machine. That's all. And also, it will comes with a kubectl in order to interact with the API server, which is inside the Minikube. And yesterday, we have learned about setting up, building a Java application, and containerization. Yesterday, we more about Java and Spring Boot and containerization. Today, whatever the code we have written yesterday, whatever the image we built on top of it, and that image, whatever we pushed into Docker Hub, we are able to pull it with the help of YAML file, and we are able to configure what and all I need, and then I'm able to apply those configuration to create my cluster setup, and then we are able to see the output. Finally, we did all our cleanup steps. This is the way how we have to learn. I would say whatever the topic it is, if you guys want to learn whatever the topic you guys want to learn, please put in the chat. I'm going to take next set of classes like this, maybe like mini courses for free. And if it is something like bigger courses, we will talk about more. But if you guys want to learn all these things uh, much more better with respect to AWS, definitely you guys can reach out to our WhatsApp number. The way how I teach is to make you to grow. No compromise on my side, any quality. The only objective is to make you to grow. I want you guys to talk to your team, next team, wherever you have to bring value to the project. Yes. Thank you so much, guys. This is our official WhatsApp number 9361 996 997. All right, guys. If you have any question, please put in the chat before we end up. DevOps course, Mayur Fitness. May I know what is that, Mayur? Could you please put in the chat your number, your contact number at least, guys? Everyone, um, Badri, Gunarathinam, all of you guys, Ram. I know. I think you guys are all my AWS people. I think so. Lokesh Nadraj. Yep, yep. If anyone is new to us, please share your details here so that our team can reach out to us. Yes, please contact this number. You will get all the materials. Please contact our official WhatsApp number. My team will be able to provide all these details. Okay. First and foremost thing is about the soft material and also code. Okay, Badri. Clear? Everyone is clear, guys? Mayur Fitness. May I know what is your question? Is it DevOps course? Which course? I am not getting it. Please go ahead. Okay. Could you please tell me what is your request? Is there any request you're asking? All right, no problem. Okay, notes materials of this course. Yes, Ram. Please WhatsApp to this number, our official WhatsApp number. My team will be able to share it. Okay. Yep. And moreover, in your class course itself, it will be there. I will also ask my team to upload it. Okay, everyone, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for all your time. I really appreciate your patience where you joined all the 4 days. I can see a lot of people joined, and this is really helping each and everyone to take next steps into deployment or development projects in your company. And I hope this is definitely going to helpful for you. If you guys really like our video, the way of teaching, how you guys are learning it, please reach out to this number where our team will be always ready to help you out in terms of whatever you need. And you can ask for my class, my batch. Definitely, my team will help you out. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next interesting classes. And I also enjoyed these 4 days, and I am really going to miss you all. And we'll see you in the next upcoming live classes. Very short. All right. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Take care. Bye bye.